We are rolling? Aye. Evening, this is the special session of the Budget Committee for the Milton Water District 2017 budget and warrant articles. We are, by statute, the committee that is the public forum for presenting and reviewing the operating budget and warrants for the water district. We have very few public with us, so this is mostly for people who are listening for being part of the water district or just interested in how things work. Stan and I talked before the meeting started. He's going to start out with just an overview of how the district is doing, and then I will read each one of the warrant articles, ask for any questions or further comment, and then we are done. My memory temporarily fails. Do we do our own recommendation, or are we just the conduit for holding the meeting?
No, you do a recommendation.
We do the recommendations.
You don't have no
Okay.
power to change, you just
That
recommend.
that was the difference. Yep, thank you. Okay, Stan.
Okay, this year's budget is approximately $504.72 less than the 2016 budget, less any warrant articles. You're gonna see what we're doing a couple of things this year. One, last year we had in the budget for a full-time person. We were lucky enough to find someone that would fill the spot as part-time, so we didn't have to go down that road. And so it's all part-time, no retirement, no health insurance.
Good.
So we have an operator and we have someone else that's working part-time. Previously, we were thinking that we were gonna have to go with a full-time person because we had not much luck finding someone, but we found someone. Other than that, you're gonna see in the legal, there's a big discrepancy in the legal, reason being, last year, unfortunately, we had to bring one water user to court and sue him, and we got that resolved. We did get our money back and everything, but unfortunately, as you know, when we spend it out of the line, it has to be shown in the line. So you're gonna see a big less money on legal this year than what we really spent, due to the fact that we don't see any unnecessary lawsuits, and we also had to hire a bankruptcy lawyer last year because someone filed bankruptcy and that had to be handled in a certain way. So, but we don't see that this year, hopefully. Keep our fingers crossed. Other than that, we're combining the two wells. There's really no need to have old well or new well. You just have wells, electricity, wells, fuel. It's pretty much all the same. So you're gonna see a little difference there. And then we have the warrant articles that are different than last year. So if anyone has any questions about, if you wanna read Article 1, then we can go into discussion, correct?
Okay. This is the 2017 Milton Water District Proposed Budget and Warrant Articles. Article 1, to see if the voters of the Milton Water District will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $310,493 for the operation and commitments of the Milton Water District, which represents the, quote, total operating cost, quote, shown in the budget attached to this warrant. It is recommended by the Milton Water Commissioners. Discussion.
Any questions?
Any questions from the public? Okay, no discussion,
I
questions
believe
from the
everyone had
public?
this prior to the meeting, so they should have been able to study it, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
they were sent it out as soon as I got them.
Okay.
Yeah, Lisa, thank you, Lisa, for sending that out.
Then, and I also had a conversation with Diane Courier going over the same ground, just how it is useful to you to send out the postcards and get the legal notices done.
Well, we send the whole budget out with a billing, and we'll read the end of next month, and then in that bill will be this whole budget for everybody to see.
Neat. Okay.
And the warrant articles, everything will be in there.
Then, from the committee as a whole, questions? Tom?
I just want to make sure I understand how you got the numbers on. I'm thinking it's actual for the new well and old well. For the electricity, that's in the actual column, that's combined for both old and new, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you're up roughly $2,000 over what the actual was because of increased cost more to run the well?
Well,
Or electric costs going up?
that, yes and no. If we lose power, then it's run by a generator, which would be a propane tank that runs that. So that could, if unfortunately, if we were to lose power for a few days,
Yeah.
We're not using electricity other than our own produced electricity. And that's on the new wells. The old wells,
Yeah.
we do not have generators other than portables to run. We have to go up to the tank, and we have to run a portable and run a portable down at the old well, just for the communications, for everything to run. But we can't literally run that well. We can't put out that kind of power with a portable generator.
Bob Carrier.
Oh, no, no.
At least
Tom?
you're thinking about it. We're in the situation in California. They didn't think about that. Lost power, and town of Ramona, everybody that left couldn't come back because they didn't have any potable water for the town water.
Oh, we can supply water.
Am I done, Tom?
I'm done.
Okay.
Bob
Is there
Carrier.
any increase in the water, is there any increase in the water?
If it stays this way, the only way there'd be an increase, to be honest with you, would be if we weren't pulling the money in.
Okay.
We don't seem to have a problem with the budget numbers, we have a problem recovering what was due to us. Now, we made some big strides last year by biting the bullet and going to court, which we tried not to because that's really the bottom line, that's really getting down and dirty. But we had to. And that person, I'm not gonna use no names, owed a lot of money. Now, they are on a payment plan and they're paying everything back.
Okay.
But, you know, I think we're doing pretty, Lisa, what do you think right now is outstanding?
It's at least half of what was outstanding last year.
Lisa, why don't you tell her for the record what your name is?
Lisa Delmont, Delimot.
She's the treasurer.
But outstanding is about approximately half of what was outstanding last year. Last year, I believe it was 100 and,
If I remember right, I saw it at 100,000.
Yeah,
approximately 110,000, and I think now we're down to about 60.
I mean, you know how it is with anything, even the town, you can only do so much. You know, you shut them off,
Yeah.
and that hope sometimes will fix the problem, but not always.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Repairs
Dennis.
and contractors. Last year, past year, you budgeted for 18,000, your actual 12, and you're requesting 25.
Yeah, we have some stuff we have to fix. We have some major, like going into Triaco, there's a major valve there that we're gonna have to dig up, it won't shut. So we know of some projects coming up that was gonna take some money to fix. It's just that we can't do them right now because of the weather. So we have to increase that to cover what we know is coming up. And also what we're gonna have to do too, the state, two things. The state is implementing that we have to change out, how many meters every year?
Yeah.
A minimum of 10 meters every year, and they're $100-something a piece. So that's gonna be an increase in our line for material line, you know, the parts, plumbing, and supplies. You're gonna see that one up, and that's the reasoning for that, but to buy more meters. And another thing, you're gonna see a big increase, well, no, it's gonna be a warrant article. I can't talk about that until we get to the warrant article. All right.
Jail too. There's also a possibility of changing the way we're treating the water, which is
Well,
gonna.
there's always that, but they go back and forth on that. They say one time they wanna go this way, then, no, we don't wanna do that. Let's go another one. Until they tell us for sure, we're just gonna stay what we're doing.
And we just have an increase on testing.
Yeah, right.
That
We
line.
have, it's nice that we have Dunkin' Donuts and we have the fire station. The downfall of that was, with all the new copper pipe they put in,
Yep.
we took a hit on our copper test. So now they're making us test 5 times more, or 10 times? Yeah, it's like 10 times more
10
this year,
samples once a month.
to prove that that's the reasoning. Because new copper pipe has the residue,
Yeah.
and it put us over the limit by .0001. 001 is 0001. It was so minimal, it was unbelievable. And they said if it would have been one place, it would have been all right. But when it was 2 places, the fire station and that, now we have to
And
spend the money.
it
on
wasn't
that.
those two businesses that we tested, it was actually like a resident that lived beside it and a resident that lived across from it were the designated for the last 10 years sample places. And it just so happened that they both of those areas had construction.
Because of the new copper lines in the ground.
Okay. Any, Tom?
I think just one last one, under contractual services.
Yeah.
You'd budgeted 9,500, your actual was 16, almost 17, and you're only asking for 10 this year?
Reason being is, last year, 2016, there was I'm gonna say a report, I'm not so sure it's called a report, that the state requires, which means that we can't do it physically, we had to hire a third party to do it.
All right.
And we had to do it. Legally, so we did it, and that's why it inflated. We don't have to do that for another, if I'm not mistaken, 6 or 8 years.
I think it's 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why it's not in there this year.
and it wasn't in the previous 2 years.
Right, because we didn't know about, we got it in the mail saying we have to do it, and there you go.
Okay, then, just for the summary, there were some issues getting payment. That is being resolved, and from back payments of about $110,000, that's roughly been cut in half down to 50. There will be an average of about 10 meters a year being replaced at an approximate cost of $110. Legal costs were higher for the year because of the cost of, shall we say, ensuring proper payment. There is a valve at Tri-Echo which will require third-party contractor services.
Multiple places that we have to attend.
Multiple places. And the state also required third-party independent contractor for certain reported repairs. On that basis, does the committee agree that this is a reasonable and prudent operating water total operating cost budget for the Milton Water District? Is there a motion to approve?
Motion we approve.
To recommend, I'm sorry, to recommend.
I'll
By
second it.
Tom,
I'll
second,
it.
second by Dennis.
Okay.
Discussion. Bob Carrier?
No.
Okay.
It's good.
All in favor of approving the sum of $310,493 for the total operating cost budget for the Milton Water District? Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Abstained, opposed, 0. Okay. That brings us to Article 2, to see if the voters of the Milton Water District will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $10,000 to be added to the Milton Water District Maintenance Expendable Trust Fund, established 32506, to be funded from water usage charges. This is a special warrant. This is in addition to Article number 1, the operating budget. It is recommended by the Milton Water District Commissioners. It's open for public input, discussion, questions, or
Do
comments.
you remember how much is in that account, Lisa?
I don't know that we had that whole,
We looked it up that night. This is the account that's basically, only thing it can be used for is the structure itself, the lines, the pumps. It cannot be used for a building, cannot be used for tools, it can't be used for a vehicle. It only can be used for the structure itself, you know, the infrastructure.
Yep.
That's the only thing, and that's what we, like when we did that work down at Depot Pond Road this
Yes.
last summer,
Yep.
the funds came out of that. That was $60,000 for that work we did down there. I mean, so that's, we put money in every year to try to, when we need it, it's there. Hey Karen, it's a good thing you came, huh?
I'm kind of confused on the wording on this.
Why?
That,
To raise and appropriate the 10,000 to be funded from water usage charges.
Yeah.
Okay, what am I not understanding?
Well, it's over and above the budget,
Right,
all right? We have to raise it in order to spend it.
okay,
And the only way we can raise it is from water usage.
okay, so that would affect the water price.
When this is all said and done, if all warrant articles in the budget were all passed at the meeting, then there's a possibility it would.
Okay,
Because there is gonna be an increase from last year, because there's a couple more warrant articles. But if there is, it shouldn't be, it'll be minimal. Because most of the stuff is, these warrant articles are the same as last year.
okay.
$49,438.61.
49,004,
68.
$438.61.
438.
As of January 31st.
Okay. The present balance, if you did not hear, is $49,438.61. Question from Dennis, from the committee, was, does this have a possibility of raising water charges because the additional warrants 2 through 6 have to be funded from water usage charges. The question I would put is, you won't know if you are in the hole until sometime into the year.
Correct. And they all have to be approved at the meeting too.
Yeah. Would your definition be of 1,000, 5,000, or
Well, I'm just going
10,000?
through it now. Over and above what we did last year, number 6 is brand new, so that's $2,000. We didn't do number 4, so that's 1,500, so it's 3,500. And I think we did everything else last year, correct? So it's $3,500 difference from last year, in warrant articles only.
Okay. Then if I may do the follow-up question, it's possible that that $3,500 could be recovered from present increased usage from Dunkin' Donuts and other businesses.
Yeah, we
So
were
it-
hoping
it
that
may-
the old
may
Ray's
be a-
Marino was gonna open up his restaurant, but
It
apparently
may be a
not now.
wash. That,
But-
okay. Then, are there any other public comment, questions, or comments? I'll close discussion on 2, bring it to the committee for their questions and comments. Mike? Tom? Bob?
No, I'm all set.
Stan, you're taking care of Dennis? Then, with the discussion that this is for basically pumps and lines directly for maintenance, that the present balance is $49,438.61, and this would add an additional $10,000 to that, bringing it almost up to $60,000. Is there a motion to recommend Article 2? Moved by Tom, seconded by Dennis, to recommend Article 2, that the sum of $10,000 be added to the Milton Water District Maintenance Expendable Trust Fund. On the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Chair votes aye. Article 3, to see if the voters of the Milton Water District will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $2,500 to be added to the Milton Water District Building and Renovation Expendable Trust Fund, established 4/12/15, new one, to be funded from water usage charges. This is a special warrant. It is in addition to Article number 1. Stan?
Karen, balance?
$8,143.55.
Okay, what this is just for the buildings. This cannot be used for pipes or vehicles or anything. This is tools. This came about in 15 because part of the old well, if you look at it from the street, looking down, the whole right-hand side, where you look like it looks like the building, like a lean-to part of it, that was added on well before me, and they didn't do it properly. So every year it pulls away, the blocks pull away with it. So the day's gonna come that we're gonna have to rip those blocks down, get rid of the slab, pour a new slab, and marry it back together properly. So when that day comes, you wanna have some money in there to do it, and that's what that's for.
Okay.
We had money in there. We decided that it was, we're doing okay with that problem, and that's what we used the money out of there to make the new office.
Okay, so this, the article is open for any discussion, comments, questions from the public. Going once, twice, closed. Discussion, comments from the committee itself on Article 3. Bob Carrier.
This one was the 2009 warrant article.
Yeah, then we changed the wording.
Are you gonna change the date on that? Because the wording is changed on this as
We
well.
can't, because they voted this one in with that new wording in
Still
2015.
listed as 2009 with the trustees, so that's how it stays.
It stays that way, so.
Even
this-
though, right. The
Okay, this-
original conception of that was in '09, and then we changed it, right?
Yes, you
So
did.
it will stay as when it got originally voted by the taxpayers.
So
So no
So
matter
we
what
gotta
the-
change this date in here?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
if I may, the category of expense is unaffected. That
Correct.
for the purpose that you want to use it for is not.
Original purpose is
Yep.
still there.
Okay. Any other question on Article 3? Tom?
Just my edification and elucidation, how many buildings does the water department have?
Counting the office, 3.
Okay.
Well, counting a shed, 4. We got a shed too, but, you know, 3 in a shed.
Yeah, when it separates, it'll be 4.
No, actually, the shed's separate. We built the shed, last year, we built the office. We took all the stuff out of that garage and put it in a shed so we could have that garage as an office.
Okay. Any other comment or question from the committee? Then, may I have a motion to recommend Article 3 to add $2,500 to the Milton Water District Building and Renovation Expendable Trust Fund?
I will make that motion.
Moved by Bob Carrier, second by Dennis. All in favor of that recommendation?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Chair votes aye. Okay, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0. Article 4 is to see if the voters of the Milton Water District will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $1,500 to be added to the Milton Water District Vehicle Capital Reserve Fund previously established to be funded from water usage charges. This is a special warrant. This is in addition to Article 1. Stan?
This is for the vehicle. We have one vehicle with a plow on it. Not 2016, but 2015, we bought a brand new one. We kept the same plow, we bought a new vehicle. Last year, we didn't have this because we felt, it's a brand new vehicle, we could go 1 year without it. We gotta start putting some money back in there, so 10, 12 years from now, that when we do need one, there's some money there. So that's all that's for, is that one vehicle.
$22.47.
$22.47 is the
Balance.
is the present balance. Okay. Any questions, comments from the public? Being none, I'll close the public discussion on Article 4 and bring it to the committee for their comments, questions, observations.
So this is a 2016 vehicle you have now,
Those are 15.
15,
Yeah,
That
those are leftover.
and what is it exactly?
It's a 3/4 ton Chevy with a utility body on it.
Okay, so,
What, new?
yeah,
How much new one? Well, 10 years from now.
well, what was that one do?
Got it from McMulkin. I forget what what was it? What did we pay for that? We traded ours in.
35?
Yeah, that's 640.
Yeah, well, yeah, but we traded. We didn't get much for ours. But they had to tow it in.
We traded just in time.
Yeah.
Left on the back of a flatbed.
Yeah. When I signed the papers that morning, that afternoon, they came with a new one. They had to tow it because we lost the brake lines in it.
But
So
at
this
least it
was-
wasn't
this
that.
is an outright purchase, not a lease.
No, all right, purchase. Yeah.
No. Okay. Does anybody remember the red Pathfinder?
Yeah, we had that for about 1.5 years. Yeah. And it got sold.
Um,
We
Oh.
don't need to have 2 vehicles.
Okay, any other questions or comments? There being none, may I have a motion to recommend, that the Budget Committee recommend Article 4, that $1,500 be added to the Milton Water District Vehicle Capital Reserve Fund, as noted by the Water District Commissioners. By Tom McDougall, second by Dennis Wing. Any further discussion? Okay, on the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, opposed, abstain, vote 6-0. Article 5, to see if the voters of the Milton Water District will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $1,500 to be added to the Milton Water District Equipment Expendable Trust Fund, previously established in 2012 to be funded from water usage charges. This is a special warrant. It is in addition to Article number 1. It is recommended by the Milton Water Commissioners. Stan?
Karen.
Karen?
$1,901.36.
Okay.
What this is for things like the device we use to find the pipe. You see the guy walking and searching for the pipe, a listening device, things like that, tools. We bought lack of a better words, a muck sucker, a big pump to suck in, when we're excavating, stuff like that. Not something you should really carry in the budget, but when the time comes, you need something like, the next thing probably could be like a plate compactor for plate and dirt, compacting, stuff like that. That's what this is for.
Mhm. Bob Carrier?
No, all set.
Okay. Any other question, a comment?
When you tap pipes, you just thought about any equipment for buying, for tapping pipes?
We don't tap pipes. From what I understand, Steve can speak more on that. It's quite expensive, and we don't do that many. It's like, I think we've only did like 4 since I've been on the board.
I was gonna say, I think there was a proposal to do like 2 last year, but both of those fell through, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
it's
think it's like, wasn't it gonna be like $600 or $700?
more than that.
And that could be, yeah.
Because there's 2 different ways of doing it. There's one way that's less costly, let's say, and then we do it the other way because that's what we've been recommended to do ours, and it's more money to do it that way.
And it has to last.
Yeah.
Would you please define tapping?
In other words, if you have, let's say you build a house and the pipe's out in the road, you want to hook into the line, you got to literally drill and tap into that pipe, the main pipe. And it takes a special tool to do that because you don't want to shut down the system to do it. This does it
Right.
under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a special tool. And there's companies that come in and do it that they're basically, lack of better word, experts at that,
Yeah. Yep.
so.
Okay. Then, that would,
But that's not the only thing, this fund's for. This fund is for anything that's, is tool related. We even bought the trailer out of it that hauls us, the lawnmower back and forth between the 2 well sites to mow the lawn and a snow blower and stuff, so.
okay. That, with the $1,901.36 and the $1,500 recommended, that will bring the account up to roughly $3,400. Any other questions, comments, observations from the committee? Then, public, all done? Motion from the committee to recommend the Article 5, adding the sum of $1,500 to the Milton Water District Equipment Expendable Trust Fund. By motion by Tom, second by Dennis. Any further discussion? On the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Opposed? Abstained. Then, Article number 6. To see if the voters of the Milton Water District will vote to establish the groundwater withdrawal permit expendable trust, per RSA 35-1 for permit fees, and to raise and appropriate $2,000 to be funded from water usage charges. This is a special warrant in addition to Article 1. Is there a present balance?
No, this is
No,
brand
this
new.
is brand new. Okay.
This is the one I was starting to talk about. As it says, per RSA 35:1, our state decided, apparently from all the wells that were going, public wells going dry this summer, that they want to now know what companies like the Milton Water District are pulling out of the ground. But we can't just tell them. There has to be a third party come in and do all kinds of testing and all kinds of measurements and so forth. And we have to do that now every, how many years? 10 years, and it's gonna be about $20,000 to get it done. So we felt we better start putting some money away. So in 10 years from now, that, that's a window, we have to have it done within 10 years. That we better start putting money away to make sure we can legally do it and pay for it.
Is that done by the water well board?
I don't know. It's a third party that's gonna be approved by the state, that could, to do that, like everything, you gotta be approved by them. But we can't just say, okay, here's our records, of everything we pumped. It's gotta be how it's affecting everybody's well, around our wells and everything. It's for the withdrawal permit. And you're not gonna get a withdrawal permit if you don't have this done now.
And
It's the things that's mandated by the Department of,
Environmental services, I think.
Because I don't know, all I know is Mark said that there's no way around it.
mandatory.
Yeah.
yeah, okay, are there any, thank you for the review. Any questions, comments from the public? Close the public discussion, bring the discussion back to the committee and the commissioners. And my own question, is this specific to municipal and community water supplies, or will it apply down the line to individuals in their own homes?
I
Or-
don't think so.
I can't say yes or no, but who's to say?
What
the
might
future.
happen? Yeah,
I wouldn't think they could mandate test,
They can't
from your own
implement.
home, how are
Right.
you gonna monitor what you're pulling out in a well?
that,
It's not
oh,
even
okay,
legal,
that was,
so
yeah,
I think it's municipal, like maybe the park, people that have their own,
yeah,
that are withdrawing quantities of
Right.
water as opposed to.
right. And I am, just the dark sarcasm, I am sure that people living in Flint, Michigan would think that 20,000 is a cheap price to pay for safety.
Yep.
That, although it is a hit, and there is no reimbursement to
No.
local municipalities.
As of today, no. Hopefully in the future there'll be some grants. If enough people can't pay it, maybe that'll happen, but we
Yeah.
can't think that way. We gotta think about making sure we
Yeah.
can pay it.
Thank-
Because none of those other warrant articles, we can legally take the money out of it for this.
Mhm. Okay. Any other question from the committee? Dennis, Mike, Tom, Bob, Larry? Okay. I think that's a clear explanation of why it exists, why it is a third party, because the state, I imagine, wants to make sure that no one
Budgets.
fudges, yes.
Well, if you remember a few years back, up in Poland Springs, up in Hollis, Maine, Poland Springs drew everybody's well dry. So it can happen.
Yeah, and today's word is benzene, but that's a completely different topic. Okay, then may I have one more motion from Tom to recommend Budget Committee, to have the recommendation of the Budget Committee for Article 6, the groundwater withdrawal permit expendable trust. And second by Dennis. On the vote, all in favor? Mike? Chair votes aye.
Do we need to go to public hearing now?
Motion passes 6-0. That is the public hearing beginning at 6 PM on the 2017 Milton Water District budget. We went into session as the Budget Committee, and the Water District hearing followed, so we are now at the point of closing the Water District hearing on Articles 1 through 6, returning to the budget. I will return the Budget Committee to its special session and ask the committee what it wants to do for the rest of its own meeting, thanking the Water District commissioners for their presentation, information from the treasurer on the different warrants. So
We're good to go?
You're good to go. Thank you for your,
Awesome.
thank you for your help. And Lisa, thank you
Lisa?
for your previous conversation.
Can you bring these to Mark Badger? I sent them to him by email, but just in case he can get them. I think some, there's
We have
copies here.
minutes?
I think there's something that Bruce should get involved in.
To do with that.
Okay.
As for the meeting for Tuesday, that's up to you. I put the,
Okay.
push
Um,
It is licenses.
Does,
Bucks in the school.
do we have, I do not. I do not have a minute with me. I would cheerfully entertain a motion
You wanna read
to.
'em?
I w-
Is this the right ones?
This is 2/11. I mean, February 11th. This is the one.
Saturday,
Oh,
February-
I'm sorry, I'm reading the,
Yeah,
yes.
Well, the agenda says 4.
It's got both of them, 4 and the other.
4 and 11.
We did table,
We tabled 4, and now we have 11. That's why I had to put both in there, because we did not,
Okay,
we did not approve
Um,
February 4th.
then, I know I read them.
that was a deliberative session for the school, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
It was.
I do remember reading it. It did look good to me. I do not have it in front of me. I will cheerfully entertain a motion to approve those minutes of the school deliberative session of February 4th.
I have to abstain, so
That's
I wasn't there.
You weren't there?
No, he wasn't.
Okay. Okay, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve the
Uh,
school minutes of February 4th for the school deliberative session.
Second, Dennis Wing. Any discussion?
Just one. Do you have the February 4th ones with you? I passed
No,
them
I
out when I was at the deliberative session. I gave everybody a copy, but
I don't have
That
one.
all, yeah, it is my fault. All I did was pick up, and thank you for the materials for tonight's meeting. That's all I picked up. I left the rest of the
okay,
stuff
well,
behind.
the 4th, I did pass it down, and we tabled it. There's not a whole lot. It's only 2 pages, give or take, and I don't have it with me either.
Yeah,
I might have taken them out, but let's
Um,
see.
I did read it when you sent it through.
Tom might be able to pick it up from there, so I just wanted to make sure you see it, so if
Mhm.
it's, I didn't see anything wrong.
Is Wi-Fi automatically on for this room?
I'm on my cell phone plan
Oh.
with this thing. That way I don't even have to worry about Wi-Fi password or anything like that.
I have a tough time with myself inside this area.
This is it right here, Mr. Chairman, I believe.
Who do you AT&T?
Yes.
Yeah, AT&T, not real good down here.
No.
There we go.
Okay.
then.
I will offer the humor that you were able to spell no amendments were made with the H every time.
Oh, where, as in,
That's what I copied and pasted.
But that's the most minor of errors. Then, looking at them and remembering that silent H, I will make the motion to approve the minutes of Saturday, February 4th with the ever so small correction of the H in where on Articles 2 through 9. Is there a second? Tom McDougal, second.
You did
And-
the first.
You did,
I-
oh, I did?
yeah, you
Oh,
made the
Oh,
motion.
in that case, I did the second. That, any other discussion? Okay, motion to approve on the call, all in favor?
Aye.
Mike, you were there, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with Stan
Abstaining.
abstaining for absence. Okay, that would be 5, one abstention. Any against? No opposed. Okay, that's the 4th, and then the minutes of the 11th. Motion to approve with any necessary corrections or additions. Made by Tom McDougal, second by Stan Nato. Discussion. Anything noted?
I didn't see it.
Okay, then, on the call, motion to approve, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any abstention? No? Stan was here, Maureen and Lou, there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chair votes aye. Thank you for bringing those minutes along. All I did was pick up the hearing for tonight.
Just want to make sure, Brenda, Maureen Spear could not be here tonight. And this almost essentially was gonna be her last meeting because her term expires.
And I believe Lou said the same thing to me, so
Right.
I would consider her absence excused for good cause.
For both?
Same for both of them,
Yep,
yes.
she let me
Yeah,
know.
according to the sample ballot, there's 3 people running for the 3 open slots. Be 1 new member, for sure.
Mhm.
We still have one that we may have to go into, because I have to go talk to the town clerk. It's Caitlin's, because there was no resignation, her term did not get posted.
Oh, so there will be 1, possibly
Oh,
2.
that,
Possibly 2, yeah, 'cause
that-
it's gonna be hers. That's gonna be an appointment, and then whatever happens at the selectmen's, we
Right,
could
so 1,
do-
possibly 2.
we
Oh.
may have 2.
that,
I'm gonna have to bring the minutes that we took.
Wait a minute, isn't Lou hers as the school rep?
Yeah, that's.
All right, so she's saying she's not gonna be school rep next year, is that what you're saying?
No, what it is, that's why I put the next one, we're not gonna meet in March,
Right.
only because
No
it's
need to.
close to the elections, and then there may be a recount, there may have to be a reorganization, we'll have to find out who's coming in, and the selectmen may be reappointed. Maybe Mike might be here, or it could be.
Anyone else,
And
yeah.
someone
Ken-
else could be
Ken
here, and
Sutter.
Luke may have to go through the school board as well, when they meet, who's gonna be the representative, it could be her.
But what I guess my question is she's not saying that she chooses not to be the school rep next year, right? No one's heard that.
No, I haven't heard that, but what it is, they go through the same thing we do, is
Right.
who's gonna do what.
who's on first?
Yeah, well, same thing with us.
Yeah.
After our meeting, we'll have the same thing, and it'll most likely will be me, but, because Karen can't do it in the water district.
Yeah, Michelle did not,
What I'm gonna do, Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna bring the set of minutes there to say that the board took her off, only because she's moved,
yeah,
and she did not submit a resignation. We, as a board, took her
Right.
off because of the number of
four
meetings
four
missed.
consecutive meetings, yep.
I think still has some-
No.
No?
Okay. Then, is the committee in agreement that our next scheduled meeting will be a meeting of reorganization on Tuesday, April 18th?
I'll be back by then.
Okay.
You break my heart.
I'm going to Florida.
I know.
Yeah, the only thing, Mr. Chairman, is it's a week later, and then I don't know how, everything's gotta go through the school board, and then when they have the select.
Is this room available that night, Bob? Did you check?
I really did not check. I should actually, I can check right now to see if it's,
On the calendar or something?
yeah, I can,
I don't think she does it that far ahead, but,
Okay.
it's a Tuesday, right?
yes,
So-
everything's a Tuesday,
Yeah,
because
but
it
there's
seems like
other-
that's the day to do it.
Isn't there other people that use this Tuesday nights here?
What
There
what
is,
what
but-
Tuesday is that?
Economic Development Committee does, but I think we do it on the first Tuesday.
But the third Tuesday is.
Correct,
a
the
First,
Tuesday.
first,
Tuesday.
the first
Like-
Tuesday
yeah.
is the planning board.
Yeah, planning board is right.
And this second Tuesday,
You get plenty of time anyway,
Yeah.
'cause it's not posted enough.
Well, the third Tuesday is only when they need it. They only needed it one time to do that.
mhm,
But either we bounce them out, or
well, there'll
Tuesday
be,
seems to be the day that everybody seems to be able to meet, and,
if something dramatic happens, and we win the Irish sweepstakes, which used to be a big deal, and we can
I got
fund,
Powerball on the way here, baby.
And-
300-something million or whatever.
and we can personally fund the town for the year, we'll hold a new meeting. Outside of that, may I have a
No other
motion?
statements or anything? No one has anything to say?
Thank you, well,
Well,
thank you for the year. That
Yeah,
I'm,
we got through it.
yeah, Lou is not here, Caitlin is not here, Maureen is not here. When they were here, they were a help. more people should play.
I agree, more people should get involved.
Well, this ain't the most favorite board for our committee that people wanna join, so I would say the people we have here are long-standing, some people along here. I'd like to thank everybody on this board here tonight.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's the same handful of people usually. You look at the sample ballot, something as simple as the trustees of the trust funds, there's an open position no one signed up for. Trustees of the, what was one of the trustees of something, cemetery or something?
Cemetery trustee.
Yeah, no one signed up for. It's unfortunate that people don't, you know,
Oh,
give more of their time.
really? Nobody for the cemetery?
And something else,
It was cemetery, was full, there was a candidate for it.
Oh, there is. Oh, good, because I left that, because,
I know there's one other thing that no one signed up for, there's a blank something, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, there are 2 or 3
Yeah.
slots.
oh, it's unfortunate.
Well,
Yes, it
anyway,
is.
No.
well,
Well-
for me, I would like to thank Maureen. She's been very good here, and I wish she was gonna come back, but she's going to be the chaplain for the fire department. So I'm not sure if that's the reason why she cannot be.
She feels
on
there's a
the board.
conflict of interest?
It's possible. It's possible that there is, but I think she did a darn good job.
Yeah. I think just,
And Lou, I don't know what's wrong. This is very unusual for her to be out this long.
All I can tell you, she didn't run for the ZBA again because of health reasons.
Well,
yeah. It's, no fun, being 18 and having a face like this.
How would you know?
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Aye, right here.
And a motion by Stan, second, and did I give you your paper, Brenda? Okay.
I'll second that.
Uh,
Is there a
And,
motion?
and thank you, Brenda.
No, that's
That
nice.
motion you
Thank you,
seconded.
Brenda.
Oh, you're welcome.
15 minutes, pretty good.
Everybody,
Not bad.
up and, up.
Will you tell Lisa to thank her very much for what she did for me?
Anytime, Bob, you need something, just, she's there Tuesdays from 9